Right, I'm absolutely delighted to be here with Josh Warrington at the gym ahead of an absolutely massive fight against Leigh Wood. And the first thing I've noticed, Josh, there's not been too much trash talk between the pair of you, but what a great shirt you have on here.
Yeah, it's been very amicable, to be honest with you. And, when you look at some other so-called boxing matches that are going on around similar time, you think, maybe we should have been a bit more aggressive with each other, but that certainly isn't my style, and I don't think it's Leigh's either. With that being said, there's times I've had fights with opponents such as like Carl Frampton, very amicable prior to it, but we end up having fight of the year. So I think it's one of them where we let our fists do the talking. But every now and again, there's a bit of banter with a few things what have been said. I think in the press conference, it got mentioned that he put a video out of calling me Baby Shark. So, I find his choice of hairstyle interesting, to say the least. A 35-year man going for a blue rinse, a perm. Thought it were the hairstyles of old women, but is what it is.
Yeah, I must say you've done the perm beautifully, and looking at the shirt, you'd have to say realistically, in a battle between a shark and a sheep, you'd have to fancy the shark.
Yeah, most definitely the shark there with his Leeds tattoo onto the arm as well, looking rather menacing with his big head.
Absolutely. I mean, the fight, you say, an amicable build-up between the pair of you, but on the night it's going to be feisty in there. In Sheffield Arena, you're renowned for your Leeds army. He's got an equally impressive fan base from Nottingham. The question is, whose fans are going to be louder on the night?
Well, I take a little bit of disrespect to that question, actually, because I feel that his fan base has only just come off light, and I think that's just a bit of his recent run of form. My fans are not just there because it's an event, and they're coming out because it's related to a football club. Through thick and thin, my fans and support have been there over 14 years. Coming to 14 years being boxing, but over 10 years on championship level, and we've been filling arenas out since then. Look at the time when I got beat behind closed doors against Michel Lara. I come back for the rematch and we filled 18,000 at Headingley. So I think it's no question. Yeah, he might have a few people there supporting him and maybe singing Nottingham songs, but I know that everyone who's coming to watch me wants to watch me and wants me to succeed. So yeah, there might be some noise made by his lot, but I guarantee they'll be drowned out by my lot.
I mean, your journey is incredible, from the small hall shows with Steve Wood, selling tickets on fight week, trying to get as many people in there as possible, all the way to selling Ellen Road Stadium out against Lee Selby. You've gone on this incredible run. What would it mean to you to give the fans one last massive night and become a three-time world champion?
I think it's like the final chapter, I guess. I'm not getting any younger, but I still have bold ambition to fight in the States. Now, people might say, "Well, you're fucking obsessed with States, Josh. Every interview you talk about the States," but that's just because I grew up watching likes of Ricky Hatton do it, Joe Calzaghe, and it used to be the fighters who went to the States back then where they'd made it, and I've done everything that I've wanted to do over here, and some more. I've headlined Ellen Road, won a world title there, headlined at Headingley Stadium. I've done Leeds Arena over 10 times, Manchester Arena with Carl Frampton. So everything has been done over here. In order for me to finish off all them, I guess, golden moments, bucket list achievements, I need to win this fight, become champion again, and then it just makes it a bit more accessible. Las Vegas, New York, just get us out there.
As you say, you'd be taking your amazing army out there to whether it be Madison Square Garden or the T-Mobile Arena, and there's some big fights. There's the Lopez rematch, there's Ray Vargas with the WBC title, Robsy Ramirez has the WBO. Which one of them is the one that you'd fancy the most?
I mean, I'd love to run it back with Lopez. I'd love him to deal with the Josh Warrington who finished the second half of the fight, but from round one, because he's had some recent success and everyone's talking about how dangerous he is, but no one really considers the fact of how slow I started because of my jaw, and I keep on banging on about it, but you seen in the second half of the fight when I really started picking it up, when I stopped worrying about my jaw, that I dominated the fight towards the back end. So I'd like to run it back from me fresh. With that being said, Ray Vargas, he's got the green and gold. It's a beautiful belt. It's a belt I've not had. I know I've been ranked very highly with the WBC, and he's another opponent again who I feel like I've got his number. So I'd either one of them fights would be taking a keen interest to me.
And how do you think the Leeds fans would take to Vegas?
Yeah, it's memories, isn't it? It's, I boxed in Berlin a fair few years ago, and that gets spoken about like quite often for those who went. Like a bit of a folktale story. Just what an amazing 3 or 4 days it was for those who travelled out there. A lot of memories made. Some good, some bad. But I guess it's one of them things where all those who followed me from like the leisure centres and the small halls, through the arenas to the stadiums to go to Vegas, it'd be quite something, not only for myself but for them as well, who've been on that journey. Just to say they've been supporting us through thick and thin.
And when you look at Leigh Wood, you have to beat him first, obviously. He's gone on an incredible run of form since that loss to Jazza Dickens, beating Zucan, beating Matt O'Connell, getting the victory over Lara. What is it in his style that you see that you can take advantage of?
With all them wins, and yeah, there's some good wins, like you say, what you've just mentioned, but none of them have been pretty. I don't care what anybody says, they haven't been pretty. You know, Michael Conlon, were beating him on points. If you'd seen that ran out, he wouldn't have been champion. I might not have been fighting. Leigh Wood, I might have been fighting Michael Conlon. Lara, well, it was the rematch, wasn't it? The first one he knocked out. Lara knocked him out, and in the second fight, more put on the fact of Lara coming in overweight. And Zucan, well, I can't fault Leigh for that, because it was a brilliant performance, boxed really, really well. But Zucan turned out it wasn't the monster we all thought that it was. And then even myself, after looking at that, and I sound like I'm discrediting Leigh, because again, he could only fight who was put in front of him. But I dissected Zucan's career, and we actually look at his opponents and those who he has beat. Then there's nothing fantastic about the wins that he picked up.
And when you look at his style, he's a good boxer, a big puncher. You've obviously got incredible work rate. Do you see his punch power regressing throughout the fight and you eventually taking over?
I mean, this keeps getting mentioned about his punch power, like he's his only puncher that I've ever been in with. I've been in with punches for all throughout my career. I can look back to even as early as Martin Lindsay. Martin Lindsay were knocking people out with like left hooks. I remember knocking Derry Matthews out with left hook, where Derry Matthews would asleep before it canvas. That's how long I've been going. Likes of Amagasa, who put Rigondo on his backside, and at the time when I boxed him, I'd more knockout wins than I had fights. So I've been in with punches. The thing is, I know I can hold a shot. Alright, some of my people say, well, you got knocked out by Lara. Leigh with one clean punch and put him down. I took 9 rounds of them and kept on going, and still believed I could have won the fight. I was asking Howard Foster to let me box on when he stopped the fight. Look at the Martinez fight. The shot that broke my jaw, would Leigh have stayed on his feet if he'd got with the same shot? I don't think so. It's alright being able to dish him out to a certain level of opponent, but you've got to be able to take him as well, and I don't think he can.
Very interesting, Josh. I can't wait to see how it unfolds on October the 7th. Thank you very much for giving me some time. But before we conclude this, is there anything you would like to add that I perhaps haven't asked you about?
No, I'd just like to say, for those who come in, if you're coming to support me, if you're coming to support Leigh, it's going to be having an atmosphere. Make the noise. Make it an occasion. I'm sure we're going to do it more than enough in the ring for however long it lasts. But just enjoy it, and see you on the other side.